The series begins on a rainy night, the female lead, when Yi-fan broke up with Sang Yen. Sang Yen left sadly. Yi-fan looked back at him in tears. Several years later, Yi-fan works as an intern reporter for Nanhua TV station. She was assigned to investigate an illegal business alongside another intern. If she fails to complete her duties, she will be terminated after her probation time expires. The couple who were participating in the unlawful operation seizes the proof they gathered and threatens them. Karma prompts the pair to get into a car collision. Yi-fan and her colleague Fu Zhuang save the couple, despite what they did to them. Yi-fan's best friend is Zhong Xiqiao, a bright and chatty person. Zhong Xiqiao invited Wen Yifan to hang out in the evening. Wen Yifan had worked extra for a week and was ready for a rest. That evening, Zhong Xiqiao brought Wen Yifan to a newly launched bar named Overtime. She learned that the proprietor was exceptionally attractive and might be seen as the highlight of the dining street. Upon placing their order, Wen Yifan was taken aback to spot Sang Yen at the bar. The moment Sang Yen turned around, Wen Yifan swiftly seized Zhong Xiqiao and turned away, but she inadvertently soiled her clothes with the waiter's assistance. Outside the restroom, Wen Yifan ran into Sang Yen, who had been anticipating her arrival. However, he appears not to recognize her. He respectfully apologizes for the restaurant, offers her his coat, and covers the meal. Then Yi-fan goes back to her inexpensive rented place. The apartment was a communal rental, housing the overweight man and a young couple as well. Upon arriving home, Wen Yifan headed directly to her room. The following day, Wen Yifan returned to the bar to collect a bracelet that Zhong Xiqiao had forgotten. As she was jotting down her phone number, Sang Yen appeared. They hardly engaged in any dialogue. That night, as Wen Yifan was ready to exit her room to freshen up, a guy from her shared accommodation suddenly seized her and yanked her into his room. While his wife and child were out shopping, he tried to attack Wen Yifan. Just when it appeared all was lost, the heavy-set man burst in and rescued her. The officers at the station told Wen Yifan they had verified the rental, confirming no cameras were inside, allowing her to return safely. She's scared to return, so she spends the night at Qiao Qiao's home. Despite her family's warm welcome, Qiao Qiao lives in a small house with multiple generations sharing the space. At her job, Yi-fan gained recognition for rescuing victims of a car accident alongside Fu Zhuang yesterday. Her supervisor is extremely pleased and assigns her the responsibility of covering the New Year's Eve event. On New Year's Eve, when Yi-fan was live streaming for the countdown. While in the vehicle, she unexpectedly spotted Sang Yen walking by outside. The square was packed, and when Yi-fan swiftly borrowed a mask from Zhong Xiqiao. She sends a New Year message to her group of friends, featuring Sang Yen. However, he simply responds with a question mark which Sang Yen appears to be unaware of the identity of the sender. Yi-fan goes back home and chooses to move out. Meanwhile, Wang Linlin's roommate has recently vacated, prompting her to invite Yi-fan to stay. Even though the rent is significantly more, Yi-fan requires a secure place to reside. Then Wang Linlin asked Wen Yifan to have a meal with her former boyfriend, Su Haoan. It turns out her ex-boyfriend is Su Haoan, a classmate of Yi-fan from high school. Su Haoan instantly identified Wen Yifan as Sang Yan's white moonlight and joyfully yelled, startling Sang Yan, who was in the back seat. They were classmates in high school, and even though Su Haoan claimed it was all behind them, Wen Yifan and Sang Yan still did not speak to one another. The vibe in the car is extremely uncomfortable. And even though it's vibrant, Yi-fan can't interact with them. Yi-fan excuses to go home because her work is not complete. While waiting for a taxi, Sang Yan requests her assistance in locating Haoan's vehicle. Because it's difficult to locate a taxi, Sang Yan brings her to her previous home to gather her belongings. Returning to her shared rental, the man who previously attempted to assault her was freed from detention. He brought along 2 friends, looking for revenge. When Yifan frantically sought to flee, dashing out of the compound, yet she was trapped in a dead-end alley. At a pivotal moment, Sang Yan showed up right on cue. He placed Wen Yifan in his car and then confronted the group of men. To prevent hurting Wen Yifan, Sang Yan intentionally diverted them. Once he shook them off, Sang Yan got back into the car and drove away with Wen Yifan. Sang Yan and Yifan head to the police station. Noticing Sang Yan's injury, Yifan purchases ointment for him. He assisted her in packing her things and accompanied her to her new apartment. Sang Yan observed that Wen Yifan left the keys to the shared rental in the passenger seat. He silently returned to the communal rental by himself and overheard the three men discussing secretly recording her. To verify if they had been monitoring her, Sang Yan dealt with them. That evening, Wen Yifan relocated with her cat, Dian Dian, to Wang Linlin's home. Wang Linlin, however, was allergic to cat fur and told Wen Yifan that she couldn't have a cat. Zhong Xiqiao visited Wen Yifan and coincidentally encountered Wang Linlin, who was trying to separate herself from Su Haoan. Zhong Xiqiao proactively volunteered to assist Wang Linlin with her delivery responsibilities. As soon as Wang Linlin completed packing her bag, Su Haoan showed up, obviously reluctant to part ways with her. Su Haoan sincerely made efforts to win her over again, yet Wang Linlin had firmly decided. Meanwhile, Linlin informs Yifan of her decision to resign from her job. She landed a new job, but it's distant, prompting her to relocate. Yifan struggles to pay the rent, but Linlin reassures her that she doesn't want the deposit back and vows to help her find a new roommate. At the station, colleagues of Wen Yifan chatted about Wang Linlin's romantic affairs, but Wen Yifan showed no interest in participating in the discussion. At that moment, the landlord showed up to take possession of the keys to the communal rental house. Just as Wen Yifan was about to search for them, she got a message from Sang Yan that had a picture of the keys. To prevent Sang Yan from believing she had purposely left the keys for a different reason, Wen Yifan asked two colleagues to accompany her for dinner at the Overtime restaurant and bar. Once he had the keys, Wen Yifan invited Sang Yan to dinner again. Sang Yan felt conflicted within, yet maintained a composed appearance. At that moment, he suddenly discovered that his house was ablaze because of a fire below. Wen Yifan took advantage of the chance and hurried to the location to inform. Sang Yan complied. This blaze inflicted the greatest harm to Sang Yan's residence. One evening, Yifan comes back home after giving the old keys back to the landlady. Someone is inside, so she contacts the police. It turns out it's Sang Yan, carrying his bags. Su Haoan made arrangements for Sang Yan to stay here while Linlin was searching for a roommate for Yifan. When asked, Linlin and Haoan don't view Yifan and Sang Yan becoming roommates as significant. In the evening, they formally talk about living together. Sang Yan consents to cover the largest portion but prefers the smaller room, allowing Yifan to take the master bedroom. Wen Yifan was frequently the focus of rumors during high school. Sang Yan proactively demonstrated his care for her by quietly trailing behind her during their runs and subtly indicating his readiness to be her running partner. As Wen Yifan returned home from work one evening, she saw the movers moving items back and forth, while Sang Yan sat nearby, playing with his phone. Sang Yan truly brings in a lot of belongings. He purchases furniture, including a cat tree, along with various cat toys. He mentions, the cat tree was an added bonus at no cost. Zhong Xiqiao woke up to her mother's voice and was startled to see Su Haoan in bed with her. They hurry to inspect the security cameras. In the video, a tipsy Zhong Xiqiao appeared to be unsteadily escorted home by Su Haoan, and it seemed like a mutual scenario. They went back to his house together. They concurred that the event was an error and decided to not discuss it further. Yifan has experienced multiple incidents of sexual harassment. Currently at Nanwu. Previously at her former job. Even during her high school years. A boy circulated a tale regarding a romantic triangle involving her, Sang Yan, and Xiang Lang. She was called Pretty Face Wen. She feigned ignorance of the rumors, but Sang Yan twisted the boy's arm and compelled him to say sorry to Yifan. Xiang Lang comes back to China from overseas. Yifan, Xiang Lang, and Qiao Qiao are set to meet, and Sang Yan suggests overtime as the location. When the gathering took place, Zhong Xiqiao and Xiang Lang came to collect Wen Yifan. Once Wen Yifan informed Sang Yan, she exited the house. Sang Yan swiftly put on his clothes and entered the elevator with her. At the community entrance, Suhan stood waiting for Sang Yan for a bit. Zhong Xiqiao, noticing the time that had passed since she last met Xiang Lang and Wen Yifan, embraced them warmly. Sang Yan noticed this and boldly requested to join them, even attempting to catch a ride in Xiang Lang's vehicle. Initially, Xiang Lang had intended for Wen Yifan to take the front passenger seat, but Sang Yan sat down in her spot and even tilted the rearview mirror to face Wen Yifan directly. Suhan straightforwardly inquired of Xiang Lang whether there was a love triangle involving him, Wen Yifan, and Zhong Xiqiao. Xiang Lang refuted it. Reflecting on the gossip that circulated in school years prior, Wen Yifan had consistently tolerated it in silence without providing any clarification. While heading to overtime, Xiang Lang questioned Sang Yan if he was aware in advance that he would be sharing a room with Yifan. Sang Yan replies, "Indeed, that's the reason I chose to relocate." Xiang Lang, Qiao Qiao, and Wen Yifan were raised in the same area, forming a strong bond since their kindergarten days. Sang Yan feels down because there are stories and jokes he is unaware of. When Haoan takes Sang Yan away for work reasons, Qiao Qiao proposes that Yifan stay with Xiang Lang because she noticed Sang Yan didn't smile all night, indicating he must be challenging to handle. Yifan's employer requests more tasks, prompting her to come home early. Sang Yan messages her, informing that he won't return home. Actually, he hasn't returned home for many days. The Chinese New Year is approaching, and Yifan's mother requests her to return home for the festivities, but she declines, mentioning extra hours at work. It appears their relationship is troubled due to her stepsister Zheng Kujia. When Qiao Qiao notices Sang Yan is staying at overtime, she asks Yifan if the two had a quarrel. Yifan states that, to be exact, they resemble two unfamiliar individuals cohabitating in the same residence. Sang Yan eavesdrops on it. He has come back home and stocked the refrigerator. With the new year nearing, the station had to plan shifts ahead of time. Qian Wenhua began announcing names, yet no one wanted to respond. At that time, Sang Yan messaged Wen Yifan, informing her that he wouldn't return home until after the 8th day of the new year. Observing this, Wen Yifan offered to take on extra hours. Yifan celebrates the new year alone. She has been solitary since childhood. Her dad died while she was in high school. After her mother got married again, Yifan stayed with her grandmother. Her grandmother died, so she was taken to stay at her uncle's home. Fortunately, Zhong Xiqiao was accompanying her through a video call, yet it still didn't equate to actual company. At that moment, the doorbell chimed, and Sang Yan showed up at the entrance. Sang Yan arrives home carrying a large quantity of groceries. His reason is that his home is too packed with family members, yet there were just his parents and sibling. Yifan assists Sang Yan in the kitchen, he is an excellent chef. He also brings a dumpling. The following day, Qiao Qiao and Xiang Lang arrive at Yifan's place for some entertainment. Sang Yan, currently at work, calls her to have the porridge he prepared. He catches the sound. In their cohabitation agreement, one party must inform the other if they wish to invite friends over. Yifan realizes she erred by not informing Sang Yan, so they decide to spend a day in the countryside. Upon her return, Sang Yan is at home. Sang Yan was casually sipping coffee. When Yifan acknowledged that it was her mistake this time and was prepared to face the consequences, Sang Yan responded that they could swap, he would also invite someone over for dinner. Haoan requests Qiao Qiao to assist him in acting as his girlfriend for his grandmother. His grandparents quarreled, and grandma left to travel for nearly a year. She will return for New Year only if he brings his girlfriend with him. He is afraid to inform her that he ended things with Lin Lin. During their high school years, Sang Yan and Yifan were quite close. The head teacher summoned Sang Yan's parents along with Yifan's uncle and aunt to discuss their puppy love. To avoid embarrassing Yifan, Sang Yan mentioned they weren't in a relationship, but he had a secret affection for her. Yifan's aunt encouraged her niece to focus on her studies. Sang Yan's parents had a more laid-back approach. Dad lauded Sang Yan for his keen perception, while Mom suggested he should hold off on pursuing Yifan until college. This part ends here. I'll upload the next part for you, so stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed this recap, give it a like. I'll see you in the next video.